It's your turn, Doctor. This graffiti, painted on a school wall in February 2011, changed Syria's history forever. Let's break it down. 13 years ago, in the southern city of Daraa, 14-year-old Muawiyah Sayasne and 6 friends spray-painted a wall with the now iconic slogan, "Ijak ad-dor ya doktor." The phrase, meaning "It's your turn, doctor," was meant as a direct stab at Bashar al-Assad, who was trained as an ophthalmologist in the UK. Likely inspired by what was happening in other Arab countries at the time, the message to Assad was born out of frustration. After being harassed by regime officers near their school, Muawiyah and his friends decided to take action in the most visible way they could think of. But the slogan represented something much bigger. It reflected the frustrations of a generation yearning for dignity and freedom after decades of repressive rule under the Assad family. The response, however, was swift and violent. On March 6, just days after the graffiti was discovered, the Mukhabarat, Syria's secret police, arrested the students. They were tortured for almost a month. That was the breaking point. Syrians were already fed up with the Assad family regime, which had ruled the country with an iron fist since 1971. In Daraa, local protests grew in size and intensity as families and residents rallied for the release of the detained boys. By mid-March, demonstrations began to spread across Syria in response to the regime's brutality. Protesters peacefully called for greater political participation, freedom of expression, and an end to rampant corruption. The crackdown that followed was brutal and relentless. On March 18, regime security forces opened fire on peaceful demonstrators in Daraa, killing several people and imprisoning many others, subjecting countless Syrians to torture. This violent response sparked outrage across the country, fueling a nationwide uprising. As the regime grew increasingly brutal, it unleashed chemical weapons on its citizens, carried out mass detentions, and imposed brutal sieges of various parts of the country, killing more than 600,000 people and displacing 14 million Syrians. Now, 13 years later, the words painted on that school wall have become a reality, as the Assad family's 61-year grip on Syria has finally collapsed. And the graffiti that sparked the uprising years ago is now a symbol of both the fight against oppression and Syria's hard-won liberation.